Hello, hello. This is Amy, and this is our second try to go live here about this conversation today. Will apps replace music teachers in 2023? And I know a lot of you are waiting on the other stream, and these tech difficulties caught me by surprise too. So we'll just leap on and get started. And if any of you can't catch it live, you're here on the replay, you can hashtag replay down in the comments. So this is something in our industry we've all been talking about and thinking, is app learning going to change our role as teachers? And spoiler alert, I think there's hope. So hang in there. Let's chat about that. So these are the big questions you might have surrounding how apps and GPT may impact you as a music teacher. So we're going to leap in with some of our slides as well. I see somebody managed to catch us live and I had to start a whole new live stream, so I'm glad you're here. So you'll see a theme of extinction here, and I had to chuckle. Our music teachers on the extinction list. You'll notice some animals here that are actually on the extinction list, and I hope that's not us. So if you have been using an app in your teaching, or you've heard of apps, you could drop a hashtag with what apps you've heard of. So I'll talk about a few in this live stream as well. So thanks for being here. So the first apps we'll take a little look at is we'll just kind of brainstorm what we've been hearing about. So I know that we've been hearing about Simply Piano. It's advertised on almost all the videos I put out, as well as Simply Guitar, that's owned by Joytunes. And there's also Scoob, Flowkey, Musician, Drumeo, Piano Note. So there's a lot of different app learning happening. So if you're here today, drop in the comments what apps you've heard of, or maybe you're someone here that's actually using an app. And if you know me and know this channel, I don't like to throw shade on other music teachers, and I certainly don't want to throw shade on people that are trying to learn music and are excited about learning music, right? That's not my goal here today. So Heidi, yeah, you've heard of Simply Piano as well. And have you used it in like studio? Or are you seeing transfer students using Simply Piano? That'll be an interesting conversation too. So the next thing we'll take a look at is the benefits of app learning, because again, I like to not just dive into one way better or the other way better. Like, that's not what I'm here for today. So some of the things that I was thinking about, I'll just check that this is here. Yeah, some of the things I was thinking about with an app benefit is that it does remove barriers. So if you've been brainstorming with me, yeah, not yet. Okay, so that might be something future coming for us teachers, as we see that the business of Simply Piano, for instance, is now thought of as even $1 million and even billion-dollar valuation on that company. So I think we'll see some transfer students soon. So app learning removes barriers. I see it as a neutral learning environment. You can shout out some things you think might be beneficial if we're playing the devil's advocate here today. Self-paced students can, have a shift work job, come in, and at 2 a.m. they can take a look at their piano lesson. A lower initial investment. I won't say I am a supporter of one-on-one instruction, so I will say that the lower investment doesn't always get bigger gains in that time, because there may be some unlearning, but we'll tackle that later. And flexible timing, like what I touched on, like just being able to have a lesson whenever you want. I also note that there's a sequenced approach to it. It's kind of gamified learning with incentives built into it. And there are some of those benefits. So what are some benefits you think of if you're thinking about an app learning and playing the devil's advocate? Whether you're here on the replay or here live, be sure to drop that in. The other thing I noticed is that Simply Piano, for instance, has a Facebook group of 300,000 people. So I see it building large communities that have a lot of pride in self-teaching. So I think that we can learn from that too as music educators, which is kind of neat. So The good news is, I'm just gonna check if I had a question here. So you'll see that I put the dodo bird on the screen, and the dodo bird is indeed extinct. So don't get too gloomy yet. But I recently spoke to an inspiring group of business leaders, and we were brainstorming about local businesses and the shifts we're seeing in our different industries. These weren't music teachers; they were just great leaders in their zone. And my internal questions were like, are music teachers going the way of the dodo bird? Like, are we going to go extinct as music teachers? Insert the sad theme music. I don't know if you felt like that or if you feel intimidated by it. Let me know in the comments, because that's something that we're all going to be thinking of, right? Is like, wow, people can access music learning in so many ways now. So it's not just, I want to learn music and where can I find a teacher? It's a different world than when I started teaching 25 years ago. So the next thing we can kind of ponder is, as I was talking to these business leaders, something really cool came out. And it actually brought tears to my eyes, because as we pondered this question, this inspiring group of music teachers actually started talking about the impact that their own music teachers had on them. And these were, again, business owners from a variety of different areas, and many of them had music teachers as young people and continuing on in music. So they talked about this this impact that they had on them, and I thought that was really beautiful. So some of them, the impact that they spoke about was that the music teachers they had one-on-one shaped their love of music from the start. And so before I go into this big list, if you think back to a teacher that impacted you, just let me know in the comments, what was a kind of a something that stood out to you in that connection that you had that made a lasting impact on you. So the other thing they said is it was a person that believed in them, believed in their potential, and believed in trying to bring out the best in them. Many of them had teachers that were strong encouragers for a long period of life. So I love that continuum where they were cheerleaders and advocates for them, and they believed what they were capable of them. They were advocates for them and became trusted role models. So I love that those aspects all of a sudden became that they were irreplaceable. So I thought that that was super special to see. Now, if you're here on the replay too, you're welcome to be here. Thanks for being here. And you can even hashtag replay in the comments. So as we go on, I thought also I wanted to see if any of you have heard about Chat GPT yet. So if you've heard of Chat GPT, let me know in the comments or push the like button. And I'm going to bring up something else that's changing in our industry for you to take a look at here. I'm opening this chat bot, hopefully. So I'll see if any of you have heard of that. So not yet. So chat, this was just introduced to me. It was released. It's the AI chat bot that uses artificial intelligence to create answers to questions. And in our industry, it actually will be quite impactful. I know I used to teach music history a lot, and we would like labor over writing, essays and theory answers here. And so I'm going to show you what kind of questions students will be able to ask. And that is going to be impactful in our industry as well. So I love that Heidi says that her teacher took inspiration from nature to illustrate playing expressively, and she and her husband believed I would be good. Oh, I love that they just believe that you'd be a great teacher, and you are, and I see those ripples coming out. So that's really, really beautiful. So when we leap into Chat GPT, I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. I think I can. And we're going to take a look at some things that your students can ask a bot And that's going to be something that really impacts us as well. So in this, a student can go in and ask a bot a question. So I thought of something like, I keep using the wrong keyboard because my setup, I had to actually start a new keyboard or new computer. So can you write me a paragraph? You see me write this in live about J.S. Bach. Now remember that your students, and you'll see it, type it on the screen. This isn't programmed in. There can be mistakes in these. But I want to hear in the comments right now, as you see that's written, can you believe that these students would actually have capacity now to be able to have a whole essay written for them? So if you've not seen that before, let me know in the comments. So it just wrote that J.S. Bach was a German composer, musician of the Baroque era. He's known for his highly complex compositions, his extraordinary technical and an organist. So it's all this stuff about Bach. You can also ask this bot to write you a song. Can you, if you think of a question that music students might ask a bot instead of a teacher, let me know in the comments. We can ask it here live and say, can you tell me what a key signature is in music? So I'm thinking from the theory perspective, you'll see it written at the beginning of a piece of music after the clef. So you're seeing that now this artificial intelligence can answer questions that we used to go to a teacher for. So that's, again, changes in our industry. You can take a look at that yourself. This is the chat, openai.com, and I can link that in the comments if you want to try it. Yeah, the Toy Collector of Seville is here, and imagine them trying to turn this essay into automatically and get an A on their assignment without even trying. Yeah, that's basically some of the things and new challenges that we'll have as educators, and teachers will be dealing with this. And again, I'm not here to say all these things are terrible. They aren't. They're new and they're interesting and fascinating, but it does change our industry. So I think as a teacher, some of the things I might do is think of ways that I could integrate that into learning, like teach students how to discern information, how to research information, or maybe have the chatbot create lyrics for a song and then we create a chord progression. You can actually ask chatbot to create you a chord progression in the blues scale of E major and it'll do it for you. So it does change our industry. So I will drop that in the comments and you can try that after this live stream yourself and go, oh my goodness, this is so different for us. It definitely was not there when I started teaching in 1997. If you're here and a teacher, when did you start teaching? I know that that shows my age here. So I've dropped the chat bot there. So let's zip back over to some of the hopeful things. So after that conversation with teachers, we discovered that yes, the industry is changing and we can't deny that and we don't need to deny that, but there is hope because you are irreplaceable. The connection a teacher has with a student to nurture both musical and character growth is something unique. And I think that that's valuable to remember and to not feel intimidated by that shift in our industry. And teachers who care about their profession, I always think that they can give a personalized approach to learning. I know for me, as well as for lots of you in the comments, you probably take time to think about pieces and repertoire that really suits your student. And that's something that students can pick stuff from an app or pick something from YouTube, but sometimes that curated approach that goes, oh, this is a strength of yours, let's build on it. That's new. I love it, Heidi. I love that you've been teaching since 2008. That's so super cool. The other thing that an app can't do is an individualized approach to building healthy technique at the piano. And if you follow this channel, you'll know that I'm really passionate. I was privileged to study with teachers who really cared deeply about piano technique and building in healthy habits around the piano. And that's something that our app learners, if you're here today, teachers can personalize that for you. And I think that that's so very valuable. So then the other thing I thought of is the ability to adapt their approach to acknowledge the needs of the student in front of them. So I know I teach a lot of diverse learners, and I love that I can ease off if they're frustrated. You know, an app kind of keeps going, and that frustration tolerance can get too much for students. So a teacher can really adapt their style to that. And then of course, you're a person, you can adapt and build into the life of the student in front of you. So I'm totally biased. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I think your music teacher is irreplaceable. I think your teacher isn't replaceable, but will it be a big change in our industry? Absolutely, yes. So I love that we were able to still do this live stream. I feel bad because the other live stream had to get deleted. So some of you may be coming over to this one having hoped to be live, and that one I had to do a workaround. So those are my thoughts around is a music teacher irreplaceable? I don't think we are, but there's huge opportunity. So the last thing I wanted to ask is, what are some ways as an industry that we can brainstorm being ready for students that want to transfer from app learning? So, oh, I love that, Teresa. Thanks for finding us in this new live stream. Yeah, not replaceable. And I think we offer a fully different way of learning music. However, I want to acknowledge that businesses like Simply Piano, Flowkey, Musician, they're pouring millions of dollars into creating programs. They're staying on the edge of technology for learning, and they're pouring in ad revenue that actually can benefit us as teachers. Because I don't know about you, but if you've seen advertisements on YouTube, like hands up in the comments or like the video if you've seen Simply Piano ads. Like, how many do you see a week? So we can't have that reach of advertising how great the piano is as individuals. So Simply Piano is actually doing us a huge service because they're telling people that playing the piano is awesome and impactful. So as a music teacher, that's one flip side I see of that, is that, yay, people are learning about the instrument. So thanks for being here today. If you have any questions and the live stream's over, then don't worry, you can ask them and I'll keep checking in with the comments. And yeah, so regular Simply Piano ads, and from the toy collector too. Yeah, I love that. So we're seeing it. We're saying, hey, piano learning is great. And I think that's a huge benefit to our industry. So I hope this was helpful. It's just a quick, I'm glad we could still do the live stream, and I hope there'll be benefit as people ponder what we can do in our industry to showcase the things that are different from studying with a teacher who cares and is qualified, and then the benefits and the barriers it can remove studying with an app. And like I said at the beginning, I don't like to throw shade on others. I don't like to cast, scorn the way of another teacher or the way of another style of learning. So, I love that. So the toy collector says, playing the piano since age 2. That's such a long journey and so cool. How long have you others been playing the piano? I know that I didn't start that early. I started around the age of 7 for me. When did you start, Teresa and Heidi? I'll catch my breath. Man, I sure talk fast. So thanks for being here. Yeah, so we can continue this conversation. Let me know. You can message me anytime. And with that, my second computer here is about to shut off. So I'm going to say goodbye, and please subscribe if you aren't already. We'll see you in the next video.